That's a 2023 Thor Rise 18M Class B RV, and we're going to talk about solar and electrical and batteries and all kind of stuff. But I'm going to get inside here first, and then we'll talk about it. Why? Well, because I'm learning all kind of things. I've had this thing a couple of months, and so anyway, you've got this panel here, and it's showing, the input and output and all that stuff. And then you've got your battery levels here. But what I've learned is the biggest energy hog in this RV is this puppy right here. That is a VIT, whatever the hell that is, if you can read it, refrigerator, 4 cubic feet. Okay, it's a great refrigerator. I mean, plenty of space for all kind of stuff. Got a little freezer up on top here. And yeah, so it's great. Unfortunately, after talking to the tech at the dealer that I got this from, I just spent about 30 minutes on the phone with him. I'm going to sit down here and give you a decent view maybe, because we're talking about Class Bs. You might as well be in one. But yeah, the solar will put out about 8 amps per hour for about 4 or 5 hours per day. Okay. Now, if that energy hog over there, that refrigerator, is using 6 or 7 amps 24 hours a day, then you can see you've got a real mismatch there, because the energy used by the refrigerator is going to be at least 120 to 130 amps per day, every single day that you're using that refrigerator. And if you're going to think you're going to get enough energy from solar to run the refrigerator, there's a big discrepancy there. You're about 80 amps off, all right, or a little more. So to make that match, you can either add more batteries and solar, which you don't have any room for, I'll guarantee you. Underneath is a pain because you already have an issue in a Class B RV with ground clearance. And so, you do what you want to do, or you can add something external, add you another solar panel outside and another battery pack of some way, but I don't know where you're going to put them inside when you travel. So for me, I've come to the conclusion that if I can't add more energy, then I need to use less to make the numbers match. So what I'm going to do is, instead of having the refrigerator on 24 hours a day, what I'm going to do is about, I don't know, say 8 p.m. at night, I'm going to turn all the power off to the coach. Okay, and you can do that on this 18M by just turning this little knob over here. I'll show you. Isn't this a great video? Oh, this little screen door works. That's magnetic all the way down, and then it's got Velcro tape on the sides, on both sides. Yeah, it's a great little thing to let air in and keep the bugs out. So here's where we want to go. You see this little knob right here? I've got it on right now because I'm plugged into shore power. But what I'm going to do when I'm boondocking is turn it to the off position, okay? Why? Well, turn it to the off position at about 8 p.m. or so, and that will give me, say, from 8 p.m. till the time I get up will be about 10 hours. That would save me 70 amps or 60 amps of use by the refrigerator. So that'll make the numbers work, okay? Because if I've got 200 amp hours of battery, AGM battery, but you can only use 50% of it. So you only have 100 amps of usable battery. So if your batteries are full at night, you wake up in the morning, if you turn them off and that hog hadn't used much energy, so you'd be starting off your day. All right, and now you still have an onboard generator, a 2800 watt generator to use to charge your batteries. And so what you have to do is you just have to watch them. You don't want them to get down below, like 12.1 or so, because you don't want to drain your AGM batteries below 50%. They say you can go to 40 or less or whatever, but it's not good for them. and it just reduces the lifespan of the battery. So for you guys that are RVing, boondocking types that are new, the old timers, they've already figured this crap out years ago, and that's why you'll see solar panels all over the top of a van, going out to the boonies because, but they've arranged it so they've got a battery pack on the inside and stuff. This one was not set up for that because it's new. It's a commercial unit. It came the way it came, and so. Yeah, and something else I found out, the inverter, there's a button up here to turn on the inverter in this 18M right here. You just push this little button and it turns the inverter on. What does that do? All it does is convert 12 volt to 110. What does that do? Well, nothing. Really. I mean, and when you turn that on, if you're boondocking and you're not hooked up to shore power at all, and you punch that button, you will have 110 power there, and that's it. No other outlet will have power. That's so you can watch TV or whatever. But you're already going in the hole with energy, so you don't want to use any more, you know. But during the day, when the sun is shining, hopefully you get a few good days, or if you're traveling somewhere, then that's when you want to charge your phones, your laptop, and all that stuff, because your generator or your alternator on your vehicle, if the batteries are say down to say 12.2 or 3, and you drive this vehicle for about 2 hours, then your AGM 100 amp hour batteries will be full, according to the tech. You should be close to full after 2 hours. Now, as far as letting the engine idle at your campsite to charge the batteries, in addition to possibly the generator, they use about the same amount of fuel, but the best one to use is your generator because it puts more amperage into the battery, because if you idle the vehicle, say at 800 RPMs, it's not putting out enough amps to do much good. So that it'll help. It'll be like a trickle charger. It'll help. But the best thing to do is just start your generator, because that's what it's designed for. Mine's a 2800 watt, and it'll charge the battery. If in about 2 hours, if they're low, it'll charge them back up. And so the main thing is, and here's something else I found out. This up here, let me get up here again. All right, you see it's showing 13.5, 13.5, both. Even though I've got two chassis batteries, I've got two 100 amp hour AGM batteries, I only have one readout here. The reason is they're the way they're hooked up, it's like this thing is reading like it's one battery, which is fine. But you see this thing here shows input 17.7 volts, but 0 amps. And the same way down here, 0 amps. It doesn't have enough volts to overcome the impedance, or whatever the electrical term is, to put out amps to the battery. So sometimes whenever you're looking at these numbers up here, this might be on the high side actually, because if I unhook from the shore power, then those numbers are going to drop, because the battery will settle out, so to speak. So, just say probably by the time it settles out, we'll be at about 12.8, 12.9. But whatever, you want to be sure you keep your batteries above 50% all of the time. And so you need to make it a practice to monitor your batteries 3 or 4 times during the day, I guess. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. And then as far as energy consumption, rather than adding more energy to be consumed using external solar and battery stuff, I'm just going to use less. I mean, if I have to run that generator, the refrigerator, I'm told by the tech that if you cut it off at night, it's cool at night, say 75 degrees or gets down to 60, whatever, then this thing will stay cool, no problem. So I'm going to try that here in the very near future and see how that works. But again, I'm just experimenting. I do want to do some boondocking. Why? Well, I'm not real fond of RV parks. I mean, I'm not nothing negative, but just I would rather uh, boondock and see the nature, you know, or whatever. I've just done this so long that I just this thing can be a boondocking machine, you know. And you got a two burner propane cooktop here. I keep that covered with a towel when I travel because it rattles a little bit. But yeah, and then all the other stuff, you got a full shower and all that crap, you know, and then a bed right here. I'm sitting on my bed, and yeah, but I just want to get out on the road and give it a shot and see where it leads. Anyway, just a kind of a general overview on the electrical, but be sure you understand that the solar by itself on this particular unit, the Thor Rise 18M, is not going to keep your batteries up at all. It'll help, but if you're getting, say you get 5 hours of good sunlight a day at 8 amps, that's 40 amps, and you're using, say, 6 amps an hour for the refrigerator, that's 144 amps. So you're kind of going in the hole, aren't you? But anyway, just be aware of that. So you're going to have to run the generator or take a drive somewhere or turn the refrigerator off. How about that? Anyway, guys, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Use the Amazon link, drink plenty of water. And if you enjoy boondocking or whatever, a Class B motorhome is good. I mean, I use it as my daily driver, and it just so happens I enjoy the boondocking also. So anyway, enjoy your life, keep your health. Bye-bye.